Yo, welcome to OTB Boxing School, where we make casual fans real fans. Been a while since that red light been on, man. Got my co-host about to be jumping in a minute. We just having some fun with some boxing, man. We ain't really tripping on no views today. I do realize KQKC is on right now, so we ain't really tripping too much. Got my co-host backstage. Mr. Ohio runs boxing himself. My brother Mark is now in the building.
What's good?
It's fight day though. We got Teofimo Lopez, and he'll be fighting against the likes of Jermaine Ortiz. We did break this all the way down, and we'll get into that fight a little bit later. Let me chop it in with my co-host. How you feeling, bro?
What's
Can
good?
You hear me?
Can you hear me? I hear you clear as day.
Shit, I can't hear you.
I don't know what it is.
Go ahead, keep chopping it up.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm definitely good. It's good to be back. Tap back in with you. You know what I'm saying? The Ohio family bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Got to continue. You know what I mean? So ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I don't know if you saw earlier on my Facebook because I'm back on Facebook now. So I was off Facebook almost a year and a half, man. So it was good to go post back and reconnect with a lot of people who only have Facebook because they thought Marcus died. I was like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And some thought I unfriended him. I didn't. Ohio still runs boxing even when I wasn't on Facebook, man. Y'all know that. You know, tonight, y'all get to see one of the pound for pound best Ohio fighters, Abdullah Mason, fighting. This is definitely a step up. It's a tough tough opposition, but I think he's going to be able to get through with it. But this is what you want to see as a matchmaker. He already got 11 fights. You want to start putting him in with guys that's a little bit durable. That's going to really come and try to build, make him. I'm gonna say make him use his boxing IQ even more. I'll say that. Push him to the limits. You know what I'm saying? So he can only be greater by the competition he's facing. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to see when it comes to Abdullah, because we already see from the eye test how great he is from his skill set wise. So now we want to start seeing him get pushed a little bit.
Facts. Do you what would you suggest as far as, because I'm always a big advocate of fighters promoting themselves, and for a fighter like Abdullah with the talent level that he have, what suggestions would you make to him to make his name a household name in boxing?
Man, that's tough. That's really, really tough. Can it be done? Absolutely. I just think it's tough because his personality, he's a good kid. And I look at the fighters who was before him. Andre Ward was clean cut, didn't get in trouble, was not controversy, did everything the right way, and he never became a superstar. But he still got the recognition when it came to the hardcores, the super hardcores, about what type of fighter he is. There's just some fighters that I don't think will ever will become that superstar unless they have the right dance partner that can help them, that can push them. Because to be honest, the way America is set up, we love controversy, period. You know, we love controversy. So it's kind of hard to try to, the Terrell Gouchers, the Charles Conwells, these are laid back personality guys who can actually fight. So even if Terrell, for example, if Terrell beat Lubin, Terrell beat Laura, I still don't think that pushed him over for superstar. I still don't think he becomes that guy that everybody be like, oh man, because he's not talking enough. You know what I'm saying? You got to promote yourself verbally. So I think it's going to take the right partner for Abdullah to get a little bit of crossover promotion where we see a side that we never seen in him before we start talking. Because I'd rather you talk and people hate you than you not talk at all and people hate you.
Facts.
See what I'm saying?
And you never get the respect level that your talent deserve.
Absolutely. You have to play the villain some type of way.
Facts. And when you as talented as that kid is, then it's inevitable that at some point he'll be the villain in boxing. At some point, we will either watch Abdullah Mason to watch him, to see him lose. because he has the talent to be that great. And
Mm-hmm.
not only that, he's levels above his predecessors.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the kids that's his age in boxing, they are not on the stage that we have Abdullah Mason on.
Absolutely not. Mm-hmm.
So, given this Super Bowl weekend, he down there rubbing elbows. I like the scene. Hop in a music video, chop it up with some of the stars that's gonna be on hand, and see if we can't find some opportunities that's available for you to get your face out, get your face known to where we see your face. And now the casual boxing fan has to go and do his homework, and he's surprised at how talented you were because of the environment that he's seen you in.
And that is you speaking some facts right there. I think getting him in crossing over the hip hop community, letting people see who Abdullah Mason is. And again, we can't overthink because like I said earlier, controversy do sell, but you're gonna be surprised at how many people connect to a guy like Abdullah, especially the way he fights in the ring. So you got to be able to put eyeballs on him. But here's one of the things, it's so funny that we mentioned him today because he got to fight. His dad called me yesterday, and I'm part of the promotion.
Yeah, I know you in the camp.
Right. So I'm part of the promotion with the next event that they got in Cleveland with his father. You know what I mean? So we doing something. I definitely would love to see you up there, man. Give you free.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna come up. My car make it this year.
Okay,
this year
yeah.
Car that'll make it. So
well, I definitely put you down. Like I said, get you in there, man. The media, and like I said, it's nothing but love, man. But yeah, his dad reached out to me, and I think one of the things that I thought I would have pitched for the Mason brothers, I thought would be a dope pitch, is the 5 Deadly Venoms. I thought the 5 Deadly Venoms fit them perfectly. I thought the masses, wearing masses to the ring, will bring a lot of the old school people. I'm talking about attracting the 40 and up, from 35 and up, because now you're bringing some familiarity with the Black people connect to martial art movies. That is very, very big. And I think him having he could be the toe. It don't matter. The centipede, the toe, but have a color. It's 5 of y'all. And I told the dad, and I'm going to keep pushing to him because they want to go by the Mason 5. I think his dad, they're more on the religious side. They try to do things. Right. But I'm saying, listen, if you want to get crossed over, y'all have to push that 5 Deadly Venoms. Y'all have to push that, and it make it more marketable. I think they could become more marketable with just Abdullah being the face of them. Using their Aries, their horoscopes, their what month they was born in. Let that will resonate with a lot of the Black community, because I'm not big on horoscopes, but I just know a lot of my people who are Aries, Pisces. How we do it. So you got 5 of these guys coming out with masses like the Jabberwockies out of California. Look how big they was able to, capture the audience just by dancing with masses on. I think that would be a very, very good sale pitch to push as a marketing tool. You know what I mean? That would be really, really huge.
You hit the nail on the head, bro, because I'm a big advocate of the old school martial arts movies. And when we're in a time right now within the martial arts environment that they're starting to Americanize their movies. Now Americans are doing martial arts movies that's getting good reviews. So as a way for even just to resonate with the familiar minds, you never know. You could even reboot. You could even start a reboot for that movie. You understand? I wouldn't displeased to see that movie in a reboot, because I'm a big fan of the 5 Deadly Venoms. Big fan of the Mason 5. While we on this subject, I gotta give an absolute incredible shout out to the Valiant Mason, to the father Valiant Mason, who he's just like, man, when I look at fathers in boxing, it's a lot when we see a Bill Haney who over promotes, who sometimes oversteps their boundaries. When
Mm-hmm.
I see a fighter, and I see a father like Valiant Mason who has 5 other sons who are all in the sport of boxing. Mind you, these kids is from East Cleveland. If you ain't been to East Cleveland, let me tell you, it go down in East Cleveland. So the
Mm-hmm.
fact that he got these 5 kids off the streets and in the gym is worthy of a round of applause itself, let alone him being able to produce actual talents of the sport, actual students of the sport. Yeah, because I love Amir Mason. All of y'all are big fan. The whole boxing world are big fans of Abdullah Mason. And every time I see Amir, I just feel like Amir just keep getting better, just keep getting better. And not only that, he's also gonna be prepared for the business aspect of boxing. So when I see a father that puts that type of effort in, I want him to know firsthand from OTB Boxing School, as well as Ohio Runs Boxing, that
Mm-hmm.
we have the utmost respect for what you bring into this sport of boxing. We respect what you're doing as a father, and I respect the effort that you put into Cleveland, Ohio. And Cleveland and
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati don't get, they can't agree on what color the sky is. Shit. We love fighting Cleveland. Hell, they all the way at the top and we all the way at the bottom. So when I have a chance and I have an opportunity to mend that gap and to give some of the flowers that he deserved to Valiant, then I definitely grasp that opportunity, and I look forward to giving him these flowers in person,
Man,
because we need more fathers like Valiant.
no, that's no. Man, you couldn't have said it better, man. Man, you took the words out of my mouth when it comes to Valiant, man, because he's important. He's not only a black father, but he's an involving father that a lot
Facts,
of us, some of us, didn't even have in our life. You know what I mean?
facts.
So
Talk about it.
it's very important to see that, man. And I'm gonna be honest. He brought some light into my situation where I'm not close as my oldest brother. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Or my
then tell me
baby
about
brother. You know what I mean? So I love how he's able to keep his kids as one. They unite. He don't really try to separate all of them. Even though we feel like Abdullah is the better fighter, he always keep them as one. When you're doing it's hard to get Abdullah do an interview without all the brothers right there. They behind him. You know what I mean? It's like, if he doing Abdullah doing an interview, they right behind him. So it's like a group thing. He's never separated them. And I don't know how. I know I appreciate it, but I don't think they're gonna appreciate it as much until they see other people situations, how siblings are separated from each other, how people are only that's
that.
blood related don't even mess with each other. Uh, the way your father is supposed to bring you up is how Valen is doing. I think that is great to keep unity, because when they get older, it's gonna still be intact. It's what your father built from the very foundation. And
Facts,
that's the key, man. I wish I had that, because
facts,
my,
and,
me
and
and my
to
brother would be closer.
and to outpour that type of love into your community, man. People don't realize how active Valiant is in the community. I know because I'm an advocate of Ohio. I study them, I study him, and I'm a big fan of the sport of boxing. But he do a lot of things that he do when he do them with Abdul and them. They give out turkeys. I seen them Thanksgiving, they gave out turkeys. They just do a lot for that community, man. And anybody who has been to the community of East Cleveland, then they know how important that is to that community and how much that community needs that type of outreach. Somebody that's gonna reach out to these kids, because the average person gonna turn their hand away from them. Yeah, So whenever I see somebody who reaching out to the youth, man, then I definitely had the utmost respect for that. So from OTB Boxing School, man, shout out to Valiant. I look forward to seeing Abdullah tonight. I got a question for you. How long do you think he stay at 35? I seen him have to strip down to the to his draws last time he weighed in. So
Oh,
how long do you see
he's
him?
been he's been doing that for the long man. He's been doing that
Has he?
he's been doing that a minute now.
Okay.
Yeah, but let me tell you one thing. I think he's gonna be there for a minute. I think he's definitely gonna be there for a minute. The way, because he's a gym rat. He doesn't take shortcuts. He's always fight ready. I mean, I hate to
And he's
say
a
this.
student of boxing.
He is.
Like,
He's
I ain't
definitely.
gonna hold you. He's a student of boxing.
And listen, I'm not saying this to be cliche, but he's literally Michael Jackson of the Jackson 5. Like, this dude is literally the one that's taking hold and saying, listen, I'm gonna be the example. And the brothers is all coming in, they support each other, you know what I mean? They all follow in. And he's doing everything by the book. And I mean, here's the thing. When we see guys like this, they 9 times out of 10 they stay undefeated damn near their whole careers because they don't take shortcuts. When you look at Terrence Crawford, he was a gym rat. I remember pointing this out, and a lot of people didn't really point it out, maybe a few, but I remember pointing out this, making a big issue about it when Earl Spence finally came up to Terrence Crawford. And I remember Terrence grabbed Earl saying, "You fat." And Earl grabbed Terrence, and Terrence said, "Yeah. Yeah, this was when they first
solid
meet.
in there. I remember him hitting his stomach, saying it's solid in there.
He said, and that was the levels of, to me, that was when you knew it was 2 different levels where they was in their career. Crawford always stayed ready. Earl had to get ready. And when you're messing with fighters like that, man, that's in the gym, Floyd Mayweather in the gym, Andre Ward, don't take shortcuts in the gym. They always gonna have an upper advantage of you. Not saying that they can't lose, but it's just, look at the history. Michael Jordan, they talked about his career. Gym rat. Dude didn't drink, didn't do all. He wanted to go straight to the gym when it was time to go out and party. Kobe Bryant, straight to the gym. Allen Iverson talked about that. One time they was out, and he said, "Man, what club we going to?" Kobe tell Allen Iverson, "I'm going to the gym. This is like 2 a.m."
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
Facts. That's greatness. Salute
you know what
the
I'm saying?
Jazz, boxing, jazz, and more. My OG, official, my OG. I appreciate
what's
you
good,
tapping
man?
in with us, Bruce.
What's good? But yeah, so when I see those type of the history of those names, Abdullah can easily be right there with the rest of them, man, because he's definitely a student of the game, and he definitely is take everything seriously, man. And I'm looking for certain things he need to work on. That's how good he is. Like, every fighter needs things they need to work on. But when you gotta just look and really try to critique, that's a great thing.
I have to study Abdullah. and let me tell you something. You know, I'm like, that's what I do. I look and I find what's wrong with fighters. Everybody else watch a fight to see who get punched. When I watch it, I see what you did wrong to get punched. Which shout out to my brother Marcus now, man. 2nd year we've been doing this, man.
Yeah.
And, I gotta say to you, because you were somebody who told me that was an eye that everybody don't have in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually what took my channel inside YouTube and outside YouTube. So I have to thank you for giving me the confidence in what I seen to be able to do what I do within the sport of boxing. And when I say I have to study Abdullah, and it's just flashes of, he don't have a flaw, he just makes he have mental lapses here and there.
And you can work on that. You can work on
great. Right, because, well, when I watch your next fight, I'm looking to see if you continue to have the same lapses that you had, because that's how I gauge your trainers. Now I'm looking at your trainers like, if I seen this problem, why didn't you correct it before this fight? I appreciate everybody who tapping in and tapping out. I know y'all gonna run over to KQKC. I want y'all to run over to KQKC. That is my OG as well. So go on over there and smash that like. Me and bruh, we just wanted to get our wheels back turning, get the ball back on the court, and lace the gloves up, let y'all know that we about to go in within the sport of boxing. OTB Boxing School is definitely back. And it's been a long road, man. And I missed y'all. I missed the sport of boxing. I missed
shout out,
what
baby.
we bring to the sport of boxing. Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
Salute to King Styles, man. Productions, appreciate you, Brody. That's the fam. He been tapped in with OTB and Ohio Runs Boxing from day one. So all my A1s from day one, man, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us. Smash that like. And we about to get into some, we about to get to it. We ain't gonna leave no stones unturned. Promise you that. But now let's
back what you were
transition.
saying.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
But back what you were saying about Abdullah, it is you got to study certain things to see what he don't do well, and it's you really got to look into it. That's why I actually captioned today when I posted him. I said one of the pound for pound Ohio best fighters, because when it comes to the eye test, skill wise, he is number one on my list when it comes to the rankings. Then we can go down from Albert Bell, then we can Jared Anderson, Tiger. The list goes on from there. But
because you know I'm a big fan of Tiger. Tiger is my personal favorite. I love me some Tiger Johnson, y'all.
Absolutely.
That kid gets better every time I see him, man.
Absolutely.
And I just marvel at how humble he is. Because Tiger is, Tiger ain't one of them people who talk a lot neither. But Tiger is in a lot of the upper echelon of boxing circles within the boxing community of active boxers. You will never hear him say nothing bad about Tiger. And that talent, man, Tiger is special. Tiger can fight off the front foot. Once he showed me he was patient enough to fight off the back foot and still able to use his jab with the frequency that he does, man. It's gonna be tough to beat Tiger. And he also displays the defensive purpose. He stay on the phone and the kid get his head off the line. So I'm a big fan of Tiger Johnson, man. But by no means do I discredit the talent that Abdullah Mason have. And by no means do I not see what y'all see in Abdullah Mason. I'm just a personal fan of Tiger Johnson, because I love the progression of a fighter. You understand? That's something that I'll always be an advocate within the sport of boxing towards. Bruce Gas just hipped us, man. RIP to Michael Dope. Oh, shit.
Yeah, Michael Dope. Yeah, I heard about that a couple. I think it's been a week or so now, or a couple of days.
Man.
But yeah, Michael Doak.
Rest in peace to one of the great Ohio boxers. Not just good, one of the great Ohio boxers. Salute to my guy, Joseph Jackson. Appreciate you tapping in with us, bro, at OTB Boxing School. We just trying to get the wheels back turning, man. We just stepping back in a ride. So we about to start the car up.
He probably got the fastest hands in heavyweight boxing from Ohio, man. He had some of the fastest hands. Michael Dokes was an amazing fighter, man. He definitely was, man. Akron, Ohio. Shout out to Akron. They got another one coming up that a lot of people don't know about. Tyshawn Denson. He actually came up with Abdullah Mason. He's another one. He's 1-0 now in the pros. Matter of fact, he's 2-0. I think he's 2-0 in the pros. So that's another one from out of Akron. Multiple national champions, 6-time national champion. Yeah, he's a pro now. So shout out to Akron, Ohio, man.
And shout out to Akron, Ohio, and what they teaching in boxing, because I had the pleasure of speaking to a couple boxers from Akron. And when I say they're teaching the right things, you won't see nobody coming out of Akron that don't get their head off the line. They teaching head movement. They teaching active jabs. And they teaching these kids how to be professionals outside the ring. So big shout out the what Akron, Ohio is doing in amateur boxing, because they placed one of the best gym. Was it them? Was it them that was right up under Real Deal?
No. You got that's Toledo.
Okay, that's Toledo. Okay.
Toledo been doing that, but I know what you're saying. Akron got Boxing Academy. They got the I'm trying to remember the name. It ain't hitting me, but I think it's Boxing Academy. It ain't ringing right now, but it'll come. There's so many gyms, but yeah, they definitely got a good program down there too.
And a great foundation for them kids, man, because a lot of y'all. You understand? Well, a lot of us, even just within Ohio, Akron's so far up north that it take for a lot of y'all only know how hard it is because of LeBron James, but it's hard for every face that try and make it in any profession outside of Akron. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the block. Any profession you want to make outside of selling drugs, it's hard to do in Akron, man. It's hard to
Mm-hmm.
get out of those environmental curses that we have as a culture and as a community. But let's transition into his fight day, bro. We got Teofimo Lopez, Jermaine Ortiz. And I wanted Jermaine Ortiz to fight Shakur, but I'm not mad at him fighting Teofimo. I can see why they stacked that card like that as well. Shout outs to Top Rank for taking advantage of Super Bowl weekend when everybody else is waiting until Sunday. Everybody else gonna wait until after the Super Bowl to get they chips in. Top Rank would find a way to still capitalize off of that environment and to still make it efficient for their fighters to capitalize off of the environment and the spectacle that the Super Bowl is.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely apply Top Rank. Jermaine Ortiz, Teofimo Lopez. I feel like as long as Jermaine don't run out of gas. Last time I seen him against Lomachenko, he fought great in the first 4 or 6 rounds. But once he punched himself out, he ran out of gas. He don't fight with the defensive purpose to be able to give himself some time to get his legs back. So once his legs go, his head is right there to be hit. You understand? And I feel like against Teofimo, who we've yet to see the power transitionalize up to 140. I ain't seen no Comey knockouts. I feel like he should have knocked Josh Taylor out. You know what I mean? He had Josh Taylor. He was just hitting him with everything he had and couldn't put Josh Taylor down. But we know how mentally strong Josh Taylor is as well.
Mm-hmm.
So hearing Jermaine Ortiz in the interviews, he keeps saying he's going for a knockout. That makes me question whether you're prepared to go 12 rounds and whether your corner dealt with the gas tank issues in which we all seen that was so visible in the Lomachenko fight.
Yeah, I know. I definitely agree. Some great breakdowns on that. I think if he does go for the knockout, he's setting it up very easy for Teofimo to box him. Teofimo can box very well. He came off a great performance with Josh Taylor. People was doubting Teofimo when he fought Sador Martin. When I looked at Sador Martin, I looked at Sador was great at fighting on the back foot. While you come in, he used the very same thing I'm talking about now. Teofimo got Sador used Teofimo's aggression against him.
Facts.
You remember Teofimo was Heisman. Teofimo's Heisman night. Teofimo puts on the big shows, the knockouts. So Sador, yeah, it was a short notice, but he knew he had the perfect game plan because I'm coming in here and I'm gonna use your aggression against you, and that's why he really got 2 knockdowns against Teo, but they only gave him 1. But he was easy. He was walking Teo into a lot of shots because Teo was pressing instead of just boxing, letting the fight come to him. So Sador had a brilliant game plan when it come to that. So I personally believe Teofimo will use the same type of strategy against a Jermaine who wants to put on the show, a Jermaine who wants to prove that he is one of the top guys in this weight class. So I definitely think that would be a great strategy for Teofimo. Just let the fight come to you. When you are trying to be first, you don't look good, Teofimo. I'm gonna keep it real. When you try to be first, most of the time, you tried to be first against Kambosos. I mean, he clipped you. It was like every time you tried to go first, in a fight and force the action, you get caught with some shit. I'm just keeping it real. You know what I mean? It's like fight your fight. I think Teofimo is one of the best boxers in the weight class, man. But he has to stay disciplined and don't get caught up. You know what I mean? And don't get caught up in the traps that's being set. So I definitely favor him against Jermaine tonight. But I'm gonna be excited. I mean, real boxing fans are excited for these type of fights. It's not on pay-per-view, but Jermaine is definitely gonna try to bring it. But like you said, it's that gas tank, man. A certain thing. What don't be pressing so hard, and then all of a sudden you ain't got nothing left. And Teo gonna take advantage of that.
And then Sandor Martin, he had the legs to fight off of angles against Teofimo Lopez. He was
Mm-hmm.
prepared to fight rounds. He was prepared to go rounds where he could use his legs and use these angles against Teofimo Lopez and make Teofimo go first. So it makes me wonder, when we have the gas tank issues that you done displayed already, are you prepared? And then I hear you talking about a knockout. Are you prepared to fight the type of fight that you gonna need to fight to win this fight against Jermaine Ortiz? Shout out to ATX Red, TWT family in the building, Slab Life, shout out to everybody, hit that like, man. If you ain't, go subscribe to my family channel. Go ahead, hit the put your link in the chat, ATX, man. You know you family, ATX. Y'all see that TWT, y'all know what it is, man.
Yep, yep.
And shout out to,
that's
go
Texas.
ahead, bro.
That's the Texas flag. Shout out to Texas. I think Abdullah fighting somebody from Texas too. Shout out to them Texas boys, man.
Fact, shout out to Texas.
Shout out to them Texas. Nothing but love from Texas, man. A lot of our Ohio family is moving to Texas. You know what I'm saying? We stationing down there, man, and we in those gyms. King Jr., the future. He's one of the little 11, 12. I think he's 12 now. So King is up there putting bodies down there in Texas, man. Shout out to Texas, though. Ain't nothing
Facts,
but love.
man. And shout out to what Texas doing for boxing on the amateur level, man.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what class you go to, Texas have a fighter that's in the top 5 in every class in amateur boxing.
Yeah.
Like, that's impressive, man. And when you see that for a state as a whole, then it makes me confident that y'all teaching the right things in boxing, as well as keeping these kids off the street. Y'all know how much of an advocate I am of what the sport of boxing does for the youth, as far as keeping them headed in the right direction and keeping them off the streets, where, you know, the streets got an open door policy. You understand? So shout out to what y'all doing. But back to the Teofimo and Ortiz fight. Who you got? They fought in the amateurs. Ortiz beat Teofimo in the amateurs for the Golden Gloves title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always a good selling pitch for promotion. I'm not big on them winning the amateurs events as much. It has to be convincing, and because if you've been to an amateur fight and you watched a lot of amateur fights, some of these guys that get wins, they be razor thin. It doesn't be to the point where it's just a landslide. That's why I tell people, y'all can't. A lot of these guys who talk about these amateur wins, sometimes it's like y'all never watch amateur boxing, because you wouldn't be bragging about Ugas beating Terrence Crawford in the amateur so much. You wouldn't be bragging about, you know, the Kelly Pavick losing to Jermaine Taylor. I mean, some of those fights are so competitive. Now, if you got some, don't get me wrong, if you've seen it, Charles Conwell against what's his name, 168 pounder Belanga.
Belanga,
Belanga. He dominated him, like nose bleeding. I mean, that was something where it was just levels. Okay, you rarely get those, but most of them are competitive amateur fights. You get the win. A win is a win. Don't get me wrong, but it's different on the pro level. So yeah, I think it's a great promotional tool to talk about, to get people just to talk about it. But I'm never so big on the amateur wins. Not saying it doesn't mean anything, but I'm just talking about to the level when you're fighting pro, it's totally different. I remember them using that with Jermaine Taylor and Kelly Pavlik. You know, Jermaine beat Kelly in the amateurs, and you know, it was like, man, Kelly was like 17. He was 21 or 20 or something like that. But it happened. Don't get me wrong, it did happen. But in the pros, it was a total different story. You know what I'm saying?
And not only that, just as far as the style of fighter, you understand? Just as far as the style of fighter, damn, that's what's up, MP4 Vids. That's what's up, bro. Appreciate it. Hey, that's what's up, man.
I think that's money. I think that's money power. Oh,
okay then. What up, money? But yeah, though, bro, like when you talk about the styles of the fighters, you understand, and the amateurs, they're big on activity. You know what I mean? And when you a fighter like a Teofimo Lopez, y'all can remember Ohio Runs Boxing just telling him, bro, when you go first, you always get hit because you never get your head outside the other fighter's lead shoulder. You understand? Teofimo's head movement is never to weave a punch, is only to not get hit. You know what I mean? And if y'all don't know what I mean when I say that, is it's instinctively. He never goes in there and slips the lead hand, comes over the top, lands his. You'll never see Teofimo change the levels, roll under a hook, come over the top. You understand? When you see Teofimo get his head off the line, most of the time it's instinctively. And it's because a fighter don't set up their punches. You understand? And that's something that I think Jermaine Ortiz can have a lot of success with if he stays behind his jab. He got to use that jab. If you're watching this fight tonight, man, you're going to be able to tell the success level of Jermaine Ortiz by how often he uses his jab. And I'm not talking about use his jab to check the distance before he start to go. I mean, use his jab to actually, goddamn it, keep Teofimo at distance, because we ain't never seen nobody keep Teofimo at distance besides Kambosos. And when he did, he capitalized because in the later rounds, he could use his feet to get off the punches that was necessary. And we seen Kambosos be successful against Teofimo Lopez.
Absolutely.
So it really, I hope Jermaine just I hope he ran 12 miles. I ain't gonna hold you, man. I hope he ran 6, 8, 12 miles a day, bro. Because you gonna need them feet tonight. You gonna need them legs. Because Teofimo, one thing about him, he know how to cut off a ring. Teofimo can cut off a ring. And he does it with power shots, and he does it with feet manipulation. That's how he gets you to go first. He'll manipulate you, and I always use AB, but I'm gonna use another fighter in DeMarcus Chop Corley, because I just watched him and Floyd fight, and they'll walk down in your space and get you to go first just because they in your space, which allows him to instinctively get off the line or get out of the way of that punch, and that's how they get you to go first without using a jab. Like, absolutely. Man, that's just beautiful fucking boxing. And I hope and pray that Jermaine Ortiz bring his legs to this fight, because we could really be looking at the first official upset of 2023. And that can be an upset that can catapult his career,
absolutely,
his name into a whole different stratosphere when you have to put Jermaine Ortiz in the top 4 fighters at 140 pounds.
And I'm gonna look at it this way too. He can still win by public opinion if he performs well and still lose. You can still gain a lot of respect. You know, that is so important. You said Jermaine can't afford. I didn't read that. He
said Jermaine can't afford to fade. He has great tools in his arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he really does, y'all. When I watch the film, he have all the tools. His main problem is that he always punch himself out. I feel like he punched himself out once because he got Lomachenko hurt. He stunned him, but then he punched himself out in the next round. Loma took off on his ass. He just sat back and worked his ass and worked all the angles, because now Jermaine was flat-footed and he became stationary for the second part of that fight. So that's something that can really be detrimental for him on the case of this fight tonight. So I hope that he brought his legs with him. And you right about that, Money, bro. He got all the tools. And that's why I feel like a win for him could help him more than a win for Teofimo would help him. And that's my cap or fat question of the day. Cap or fat, because, man, this shit that went rampant in the boxing community. Everybody got a cap or fat question. So for y'all 6 people who are here with me now, if y'all ain't been here for 2 years with me and Ohio Runs Boxing, that is something that I started on my platform to ensure that I had a distinctive way of relaying what I bring to the boxing environment. And we have to personalize the content that we have when we're on YouTube, because a person will take your words verbatim and you'll hear them. You understand? So
Hey,
the or
not to
go
cut
ahead,
you
bro.
off, not to cut you off, but my boy, shout out to Jermaine. He said he's from Cincinnati. He's from your backyard.
Okay, then,
He
yeah,
putting
I mean, shout
he,
out to yeah, I mean, Israel, straight out the city.
yeah, he's straight out of the city, bro. But yeah, that's funny. He said it's the same exact thing you just said. He preached this verbatim, bro. He says that all the time about certain things you put out first and people take it and bite it, or they take your stuff and make content with it, bro. Y'all both was hit it on the head, man, when you say that type of stuff. And capped or fact, I remember you said that. I think you was one of the you started saying the captain fact.
Yeah, that was our shit, bro. We had a cap or fact question of the day.
Then
And
boxing ego and everybody started using it.
man, I'm in their inboxes, bro. Like, hey, don't say that shit no more. And I love ego. Ego, if you ever watch my show, no, I love and appreciate you. Are one of the front runners that led me into boxing. Yeah, I mean that you one of the people I argue with through my phone watching your show. So when I see y'all dinosaurs start to do that type of shit, man, it really diminishes the respect that I have for the level of content that you create. Because for the smaller channels, we have to distinctify ways, and we have to put our names on our content. We have to make sure it has a way for you to remember, oh, OTB said that. That's OTB shit. So I have to make sure that I bring my content to you in a different revenue than everyone else. So when I
Absolutely.
hear people say cap or fact, then for the 5-6 people that's in here, man, stay on their ass. If y'all hear anybody say that shit, tell them, bro, that's OTB shit. And he worked hard to think. Y'all don't know how much weed I smoked trying to come up with something that I knew would resonate with the boxing community as a way for me to relay my content and keep it personalized for me. So
No, I definitely understand. I appreciate it, man. It's crazy because I get the same thing too. And sometimes I don't acknowledge, but I notice even on big platforms for Top Rank and the Zone, certain things that I was doing that they wasn't doing with their fighters. I remember starting to see guys had a box rec shown with the photos, and nobody was doing that.
nobody was doing that. That was
Nobody
your
was.
shit.
Yeah, that was something I was doing, and I'm like, okay, they splitting their records with and they follow you, and I think it's like I said, it's flattering. You know what I'm saying? They actually respect you. But my thing is, at the end of the day, just give us our roses, give us shout outs. I ain't about to lose no sleep, but at least give us a shout
That's
out.
it. Just
When I hear,
all you gotta say is, goddamn it, shout out to my brother OTB. But I want to know if this is cap or fact. You understand?
right,
Man, I'm not tripping. I might be in the comments. You never know.
right,
Like,
right.
shit, that's cap, bro. That's fact. But that was something that I did to resonate with the boxing community and to make sure, and it was something that was authentic. Because before I started saying it, before we had our cap or fact question of the day, I mean, it literally wasn't in the app.
Right. No, yeah. You freezing up over there. I don't know if it's the service.
With my channel. So y'all being wrong, y'all not hating on no other content creator when y'all tell that man that that's something that came from OTB Boxing School. But for the 7 people that's in here, everybody smash the like, and let's get to the cap or fact question of the day. Does a win for Jermaine Ortiz, is it more beneficial for Jermaine Ortiz when he win this fight, or is it than it is for Teofimo a loss?
That's a good question. It's a very good question. Is it more beneficial? That's tough. Can Teofimo afford to lose again? This is tough.
That's the question.
See, that's the thing. I can, you know what, Teofimo can. I hate to say it, but it's just the truth. Because of his resume, because it's a great question. Because of his resume, man, he could lose and still bounce back. And that's one thing I like about fighters is being able to show me that you can bounce back. Yeah, you lose, but show me you can bounce back. I'll rock with you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't jumping off the ship. I was telling people when Teofimo, uh, actually didn't look good against Sindor, and he even said, I don't know if I got it. It was more about the style and the aggressive of that fight. It wasn't about him losing something. And I gave him, I said, man, y'all need to get off his back, man. Give this man a chance and look at him coming back, because he was not favored against Josh Taylor. Hear nobody say it. He was not favored against Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor had the favorite, and he won that. So my thing is, I would like to see Jermaine get his respect, because he beat the Jamel Herrings. He fought Lomachenko's tooth and nail, you know what I mean? So this will be a good victory for him. And I think it's balance in boxing. So, it'd be better I think, Jermaine would be more, man, that would be good for him, but it wouldn't be a bad look on Teofimo, because fights like this is who we want you to lose to. You should never avoid a Devin Haney to lose to a Kambosos. Make him a name. You get what I'm saying? So no disrespect to Kambosos, but he didn't do anything to deserve a shot with you. And we got Devin Haney sitting on the side waiting. So yes, you better lose. It's better to lose to a Jermaine Ortiz who's credible and respectful. Ain't nobody gonna sit there and call Jermaine a bum. Ain't nobody gonna sit there and say you lost to a bum.
Facts. You get what I'm saying? And when we at a time in boxing where our A-level fighters are refusing to fight our A-level fighters, remember that y'all heard this shit here first. You will lose. All of these fighters who won't fight each other will lose to a person who with a lot lesser talent than them, and they'll lose to a person that boxing will never remember. Boxing will never remember George Kambosos.
Well, he in the history books when it comes to the straps, but yeah, as far as like, but I definitely understand what you're saying, and I said this, and I talk about this story all the time. It was this fighter named Constantine. You might remember.
My bad. Go ahead, bro.
No, salute to Pop. That's Pop. Yeah, that's out of Cleveland. I think that's
family. That's family, man. Pop family.
But look, it was this fighter named Constantine who was 34-0 from out of Russia. He was fighting to become what they call those fights. I forgot they call them before you become a mandatory. What is those fights called? I forgot they call them eliminators.
Yeah.
He kept avoiding eliminators so he wouldn't be the mandatory for Earl Spence. So he's 34-0 and he's avoiding eliminators. He didn't fight Ocampos. Ocampos was supposed to fight him, so he fell out of that fight. Ocampos won and became the mandatory for Earl. Well, make a long story short, he ended up losing to another Russian who had 8 losses in his backyard. So he lost the opportunity to fight Earl Spence, who you could have lost to a better and caliber name, but you end up losing to somebody with 8 or 9 losses from Russia because you didn't feel like you was ready. You had 34 fights, my brother. So you don't want to fight the best to lose to good names, but you're going to, like you just said, you're going to open up the doors for other guys to say, hey, I beat you. And we like, who are you? You see what I'm saying? So y'all have to be able to fight these guys. There are such thing as good losses. Kelly Pavlik only had 2 losses on his box rec when he ended his career. It was to Sergio Martinez and Bernard Hopkins. Give me that box rec any day.
You did, and you hit the nail on the head, bro. Because in boxing, we can only grade a loss, and I'll answer your question too, yeah, man. But your question was, what if Kambosos beat Loma? And boxing, bro, your win is only as good as what that man does after you beat him. If that man accomplishes nothing after you beat him, then we can't validate your win. So unless Kambosos beat Loma, then those wins that he have will never have no validation.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing with that Kambosos thing. He came back. He's coming off a robbery performance. I mean, we forget that this dude he's not getting the fight with Loma because he's one of the best fighters out there. He's getting a fight with Loma because he's coming off a bad looking performance that he shouldn't even have gotten. And it's like they throwing Loma they giving Loma food. So yeah, if he wins, that will be big on his career, and I think it makes it makes his win with Teal. He's not a one-hit wonder. I talk about fighters like this all the time. There's a lot of one-hit wonders. They get that one fight that they win, and they get to sit and talk about it with their grandkids for the rest of their life. One-hit wonder, great. I'm not mad at you for that, but that's what you are. Kell Brook, one-hit wonder. Who did Kell Brook beat? People forget. He beat Sean Porter. That was it. You give him American at the end, but American was pretty much done. But he gonna sit and talk to his grandkids about beating that Ohio fighter. Nothing else he did. So you got I could say you got the Buster Douglas type of guys in the league, but you want to do more than just have one win. Kambosos got that opportunity because Teofimo was avoiding somebody. So that's just the thing. I don't think Kambosos is good. His last fight proved that. But him beating Loma will be washed up by the time if he beat Loma. It's gonna be how impressive would it be, So again, so that's what it comes down to that. But I just don't see him beating no Loma.
Well, when I watched the film, first of all, I gotta address this as well because Teofimo felt like Terrence Crawford cherry picked his opponents and he spoke on it. He spoke on Jose Benavidez getting shot in the leg. Errol Spence wasn't right because his eye was messed up. Kell Brook. But Teofimo, let me tell you something. Jermaine Ortiz ain't fought in a year. When you beat Loma, he hadn't fought in a year and a half. So when you just beat Josh Taylor, he hadn't fought in a year. He was coming off a 16-month layoff.
Mm-hmm.
So one might come to Teofimo Lopez and say, do you cherry pick your opponents? Because your last 4 opponents out and came off of big, long layoffs. You're a fighter who I can quote the boxing community when they say Teofimo starts off fast because of how many first-round knockouts he got, how many early knockouts he got. So for a fighter who's conditioned to start his fights fast, for you to pick opponents coming off a layoff who's fighting ring rust, who fighting the difficulties that you go through within training when you coming off a layoff, to think that you don't capitalize off of those layoffs within the course of your fights is unrealistic. So when I say, God damn it, I ain't got no respect for that bullshit he said and discrediting Terrence wins because I feel the same way about him, then I'm gonna say, if it looked like a duck, quack like a duck, it ain't a goose.
I look a little deeper. I see, I look at it from a promoter standpoint when I see Teofimo do this. If you notice, Teofimo only do this when his fights is coming up. He start talking about other fighters. He starts saying controversy stuff to get people to tune in for him. This is the same thing he does all the time, and I didn't caught his routine. It's nothing new. He talked about Deontay Wilder. I mean, you could just name. He called them out their names. I'm not mad at him. I think he's just promoting himself for people to go see him fight, and he's taking on the pressure. So I gotta give him respect for that. I don't believe everything he says, man. I think some of it is just for promotional tools to get people to talk about him. So he wants Crawford to fight him. He wants a big fight with Crawford. And part of that is because he don't feel like he's being paid for the level of opposition he's facing. He's been talking about retiring after he fought Josh Taylor. He only got paid 1 point something. He also was talking about never signing with Bob because he felt like they wasn't paying him, and then Thriller had to save him, and then the Zone came back and when Thriller realized they couldn't sell with him. Thriller paid $5 million for you in Kambosos, and then they had to go back and say, wait a minute. We made a big mistake here. We not only did we overpay you for you two fighters, but ain't nobody even coming to the arena, So so they had the Zone with the second bidder up. I think they paid 2.5 for that. I think Tio needs to be realistic. He's not a superstar. He thought he was a superstar when he beat Loma. No, you're not, bro. You're not a superstar. You still got to grind and get it. But, keep talking. You'll talk, and we'll see. You know what I mean? But you got to, if he wanted the Crawford fight, that would have been nice at 147. He should have been made that move, though. So, right now, it is what it is. Crawford got bigger and better things on his plate as well. So,
and that's what this say to me. This say to me, Teofimo want a payday.
Yep.
Teofimo is trying to get his big check before he get out of boxing or before he take a loss. He's basically saying, I'll take a loss if it's for a big enough check. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's not something I respect within the sport of boxing. Not when you have an opportunity to make yourself a legend in boxing.
Yeah.
Like, do we realize that this kid has the ability to fight a Devin Haney, to fight Kambosos? He got the ability to say that he fought Lomachenko, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, as well as Gervante Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's not act like these names, you understand, ain't something. And shout out to Pop, because I did hear the conversation where Keyshawn made him stand on business, but I'm going to throw Keyshawn's name in there as well as somebody that Teofimo could add to his resume that would patent his resume. Now, if you fight 4 of those 5 fighters that I just named, you're a legend.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to win.
Yep.
If you just fight them in this era where we waiting 4 and 5 years to get fights that we want, you understand? Because we waited 4 or 5 years for David Benavidez, Boo Boo Andre. We waited 4 or 5 years for Manny Pacquiao, Floyd May. We waited 4 or 5 years for Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. You have a distinct ability to fight one of these fighters and then fight another fight each year for the next 3 years and make yourself a legend.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's not something that he wants to do. He want to get paid. Teofimo is an opportunist. You understand? To me, Teofimo is Adrian Bronner of this generation.
Mm-hmm.
He's an opportunist. And if y'all don't know, I know because I was in the circle when they sold the AB homies sold to Beat the Lil John and Pitbull. You know what I mean? It was for a song we had called Down the Way. But they sold that beat. All of them wanted to be rappers. All of them thought they was going to be rappers. You understand? AB was right on that train, y'all. God damn it, when that shit fell apart, AB brought his ass back and got in the gym.
Yeah.
That was the difference. You know what I mean? And everybody in boxing, not a fighter. You understand? And I applaud the guys who move like fighters. There's few fighters in boxing right now. Few guys who really can watch somebody fight and say, ooh, he got hands. Me and him will make a good fight. Ooh, now he knocked him out. I want to knock him out. How he just knocked him out made me want to knock you out. Like, it's few fighters with that thought process, which tells me that boxing has began to, and when I first came in this community, the first argument I had, y'all, was with Monty Brown and Keon from Everything Boxing, my brothers. These both my big brothers. You understand? And it was about the business of boxing. And they had to teach me that boxing is a business first. And I'm here as a channel to make sure that we all appreciate boxing first as a fucking sport. Mm-hmm. It's a sport. Eat it up.
Yeah.
If you watching somebody knock somebody out, don't make you want to get in the ring with that man, then you need to take your ass to McDonald's, or either just go ahead and tell us straight out your mouth that, hey, I'm a boxer, bro. I'm an opportunist first. I don't do this for the sport of boxing. I don't love going in there getting punched. I don't love punching people. I'm just talented.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can make the choice whether to support you. But how all of y'all moving with y'all careers first. Y'all picking weight classes that you know you're not going to stay at, where you actually hold physical advantages to where we can't even respect the championship belts that your ass achieved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, this is mind-boggling to me, bro. Like, the where we watching Francis Ngannou jump over and jump up the scales. He about to fight Anthony Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
He's a top 10 heavyweight. For what? So what y'all telling the other 20 heavyweights below him?
Yeah.
That the work they put into the sport of boxing don't mean shit? Because this man got a name already?
Yep. You got to get at the Tyson Fury, who thought it was going to be an easy showcase, and he dropped the ball with that, because this is the thing. Sometimes these type of fights can open up doors for chaos. And look, don't get me wrong. I hate to say this. I think Terrence Crawford can beat Canelo. But what if Terrence Crawford do go up 3 weight classes and defeat Canelo? Can that destroy boxing? I mean, look how long, even if we had history of that happening before, I think it's a long gap, because I believe Sugar Ray did it. But it was a long time ago. Imagine how many fighters are going to be using that just to get out of fights in their own weight class. Canelo you going to give Canelo a pass to pass up on David Benavidez because he's fighting Terrence Crawford, who some of y'all think he can beat, you know? So, I think Crawford can beat him, so it's okay because you think Crawford can beat Canelo. So therefore, we making these fights. Therefore, it's ducking in a way. It's still a dangerous fight, but it's still kind of ducking, because there's a guy at your weight class that want to fight you, but you're willing to have an advantage of these other guys. I don't like it, and I think it could open up door. That's why 9 times out of 10, when you see the smaller guys coming up, you want them to get destroyed. I'm sorry to say it, because you want to send a message. It's weight classes for a reason. I do think Terrence Crawford is a special fighter. He's not like everybody else. But boy, would that open up doors for everybody else to start hopping and jumping in classes. Like, man, cut it out. Dominate your weight class and then move up gradually and slowly. That's how I think it should be. But it's
Shout
never
out to
been that.
Brian Corbet. Bro, I'm praying with and for you. Man, my brother lost his mother this week, man. And I want everybody to go home, call your mama, hug your mama, do something for your mama that I know that my brother can't. You understand? Because man, we all know, I could just imagine what that type of pain is like. I'm blessed enough to still have mines with me. So, bro, I want you to know from me to you that I pray with and for you. I definitely smoke one for you. Just putting myself in those shoes, understanding what you're going throughout this time in your life. And I want you to cherish it and cherish the memories that y'all have, bro, because memories forever. You understand? And I definitely applaud you and your strength.
Give no damn. So tell us.
You understand? I applaud you and your strength and going through this process, bro. So be strong for your family. I know this the beginning of the process, but everybody, every student, every faculty member at OTB Boxing School, we all praying with and for you, bro. And we going through this shit together. So be strong, keep your head up. We with you, bro. Real talk. Okay, it was the anniversary, regardless. Shit. Still, shit. Like I said, do something for your mama that the homie can't do today. Using the fact that David lost the belt 2 times without being beat. Well, that's another problem that I have in boxing. And me and Ohio Runs Boxing, we got a show coming up that we gonna do called 10 Things That Can Change the Sport of Boxing. And one of those things are giving people belts. You understand? How are we at a point within boxing where a person can go to sleep a challenger and wake up a champion? This boxing.
I got criticized a couple years ago when Devin they gave Devin elevated him to champion, and I told him I don't think Devin's a champion yet until he fight somebody in the top 15 or whatever, and win that fight, and then I will call him champion. I'm not about to call you champion because the sanctioning bodies elevated you. This is the same thing for Boots Ennis. I just don't think you can fight for a vacant belt. Okay, even if you're favored, you fought somebody for that vacant belt, but they handing it to you. That's what they're saying, making you email champion. I was strong on that anime. I don't care if it's somebody from Ohio. Oh, he just got elevated as a champion. All right, I'm not calling him a champion until he fights in the ring and then the belt is raised. That's how I'm going to stick with it. I'm not letting these politics change my view on boxing, because that's exactly what they do. If we allow this because we don't stand up against it, that's why we got 4 sanctioning bodies. We only had 3, people. People forgot we only had 3 sanctioning bodies before. But how did the 4th one become the 4th major title? The people accepting it. The people saying you have to win 4 belts now to become undisputed. So if that's the door opening, guess who's knocking on the door to become the 5th? The IBO. The IBO is right there, becoming this 5th belt that you have to win so you can be undisputed, because all they have to do is keep having big time fighters win that belt and make it more relevant, and that's how they open doors. We have to stop that, because boxing is going to get a mess if you don't draw lines somewhere.
Facts, man. And I just feel like if we gonna make a person a champion, if you gonna tell me they're a champion, then they should earn the right to do so. I should be able to respect the performance that they gave to become a champion. And you deprive the fans of that when you go and issue out these belts and award these guys with these belts without them giving a performance that's deserving of such. So
I said this too, and not to cut you off. They took that moment from Devin. People don't even realize they took that moment for Devin to hear, and the new. They took that moment from him. They robbed that man of that moment. What you want to hear when you become a champion. That moment was taken from him. You know what I mean? In the new. Now, he definitely grinded, and they helped him. The boxing politics. I say the boxing guys. My boy Yamin don't like me saying that, but Devin wouldn't have got the opportunity if it wasn't for Ryan jumping out of a fight because of injuries with JoJo, and then the war with Lomachenko is the reason why Kambosos picked Devin. So it wasn't Devin getting these fights. He got these fights by luck because they was avoiding him. So I'm actually happy the way it played out, because Devin is deserving of it. But at the end of the day, you got a lot of that. These guys with these belts just making franchise titles and able to maneuver around it. It's horrible, man. But at the end of the day, you get these. It's too many belts. It's too many freaking belts. When I was coming up, when I was watching the Power Rangers when I was coming up, it was only 6. It's only 6 Rangers, bro. That's what I was. It was the white one, the green one turned to the white. Then we had our original 5 when I was watching Power Rangers. Now, when I watch the Power Rangers 14 years from now, nigga, it's 25 Rangers. I was watching on TV like, how many? It's 7 Red Rangers, 6 black ones. They all fighting together. I was so confused.
Man, you got Space Power Rangers.
Bro, I was
all type of weird shit.
I was confused watching that. My son watched. I said, "What is he watching?" When I was coming up, it was only 6 Rangers. It's over 20 of them. You got 5 in blue, 6 in pink. I'm like, what is going? That's how the sanctioning bodies look right now, bro.
And for everybody who don't know, I'm actually an advocate of this. Is how you know that this is really my brother. You understand? Because I'm opposed to the 3 belt system. I watched the 3 belt system make Aaron Pryor Sugar Ray's mandatory for 6 years. Sugar Ray retire, come back and fight Marvin Hagler instead of Aaron Pryor. So I felt like, you understand, in the 4 belt system, now Sugar Ray gonna have to fight his mandatory. You understand? Before he go and unify. Now, I felt like you would have to fight these mandatories, and all they did is come up with a franchise tag to keep them away from them. So,
yep.
As well as I agree with you, bro. Like shit, I don't feel like I feel like the 4 belt system was needed. And I just feel like They discredit it by giving these guys an opportunity to get out of these fights. You eliminate the rankings. And if you eliminate in the rankings, how am I supposed to persuade a kid to walk into boxing if he can't climb up the rankings to the top?
Absolutely. And another thing too, where they messed up at with the four ranking systems, the four sanctioning bodies, is the WBO. Is you can tell who got a close relationship with who. We know Al Heyman got the WBA. We know Bob got the
Run that
WBO.
motherfucker.
We
Oldest
know
belt in boxing. He
right.
run that motherfucker.
We know, yeah. So we know that the IBF, Eddie Hearn is in cahoots with the IBF. You know, so it's like they have better relationships with these sanctioned bodies, and that's why I tell people you got to be careful when you're looking at, well, so and so is his mandatory, and you look at both fighters. You said, yeah, but they both top ranked. So how did that happen? You know, it's rare you get these crossover promotion mandatories because they never really, they never really happen. So you'll get a guy saying, well, he's fighting this mandatory. Yeah, it's in-house. Of course they're mandatory. Of course he's going to be moved up in the rankings close because the sanctioning bodies know whose fighters is who.
Speaking of that, my brother right here at Ohio Runs Boxing just made me aware through one of his posts that Adrian Broner is ranked in the WBA rankings.
Yep.
And when I seen that, I'm going to tell you what I thought. Adrian Broner, Jermaine Ennis.
Crazy. I've been saying that. I've been mentioning this fight, man.
Boots need a name.
Yep.
Boots need a name that we can respect them for. Not to mention, AB gonna do the numbers. AB gonna bring the people there who gonna come to see AB lose, but they gonna leave being a fan of Boots. You understand? So I'm telling y'all, PBC, y'all listen to me when I told y'all Gervante needed to fight Ryan Garcia after Hector Garcia. You understand? How this man get to fight two Garcias back to back, and we still crowning him the face of fucking boxing. Yeah, Pop, he ranked 8th. You understand? And if they ranking him in the top 10, then you best believe one of the upper echelon is about to see him.
Yeah, when you say rank 8th, let me tell y'all, that's why I made that a big thing when I posted it, because nobody is talking about Broner being ranked 8th. Of course, it's Ohio for me. But why is that important that he's ranked 8th? Because he has a name. And you look at that list, he's jumped everybody over that list when it comes to names. Klitschko was retired for 2 years and came back and fought for a vacant WBA against Anthony Joshua. So when you got a name, long as you ranked in the top 10, people ain't gonna say nothing about it because you gonna get the opportunity before any of them other guys. You're gonna skip the line. It's almost like seniority. So I respect that when it comes to that because of the work you did in the past. You know what I mean? So yes,
some people don't know shit about boxing. My bad, bro.
No, yeah.
I don't know what bro. Junior Spock. Hey, first of all, man, Spock been dead too. Hey, you would have to be Spock the third. God damn it, Spock was in the 70s. Shit. You would have to be Spock the third. If you Spock Junior, your ass is 50, almost 60 years old. God damn it, all on here talking about how these guys run. Man, sub to my channel. Go watch some boxing breakdowns that I did, and then we'll have this conversation. Same place, same time next week.
Man, and he put the census, he put Mason in the same category. It's like, come on, bro, you really ain't watching boxing.
That's how you know some people just don't know shit
about boxing. You definitely ain't watching boxing because Mason is doing the least but running. He's sitting there he's sitting down on his punches, bro. He ain't doing no running right now. The boy technical. He technical though. He technical.
I fought the boxing community. 20 years ago, bro, 20 years ago, Emmanuel Stewart told us knockout sale. 20 years later, that's still the only way that we can compartmentalize our A-level fighters. We still have casual fans. We're still at a point within the boxing community where we can't sell the pure boxer.
I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna say you're right. I'm gonna say this. It's a package. Like when you got a knockout artist, Yes, it does bring excitement. When I'm watching the street
Love you
fight,
too, bro.
when I'm watching the
I know
street
who you
fight,
is too, nigga.
he said, well, he said run from serious challenges. Bruh, you put Mason up there talking about running from, he's a prospect. He's being built the right way. How is he running from serious challenges? Some of y'all, if y'all were the promoter, y'all fighters wouldn't even last. Y'all, the motherfucker 2 fights in, he got to fight a top 10 opponent because you don't want him to run. Like, man, it's about building. That's totally different. He ain't running from no challenges. You let me lose my train of thought of where I was at. We was talking about what was we just talking about, man? We were just talking about
AB and being ranked 8th at 47.
yeah, but we was just getting the fighters being knockout artists. You
Right.
need a package. You need that knockout fighter. Because I said if I'm a co-promoter, when me promoting,
yeah, I know you promote.
Right, and I actually help put on matches sometimes too, matchmaking. So when I'm looking at it, I definitely see where some of the promoters are saying knockout sell, why that's so important. But here's the thing. When you have a great technical Arison Landy Lower, Guillermo Rigondeaux, great fighters like that, you need to have them on the card where a knockout artist, because the knockout artist is going to bring the people. But we got this technical guys that one day these fans that fall in love with the sport be able to be educated on what sweet sign is. So one thing about me, when I experienced Floyd Mayweather over the years, a lot of casuals will be watching and say, oh, man, he ain't doing nothing. He winning on points. He ain't knocking nothing out. But, you have to educate them on what they actually seeing. And that's the thing that's frustrating.
You have to tell them what they looking at.
Right.
Like, this was the thesis that my channel was built.
Right.
Because I felt like the casual fan couldn't respect the pure boxer. So, hey, let me show you how hard it is the time somebody step off the front foot. Let me show you how this guy's waiting until this man transitions his weight onto his back foot, and then he pushed the gas pedal and push him back, because you ain't got but 2 feet. You ain't got but 2 hands. That's what make the sport of boxing great, y'all. Yep.
Absolutely. So that's that. He said PBC need to put Ohio Run Boxing in the promotional payroll straight up. Yeah, it's nothing but love, man. I think
hey, real talk, and y'all need to quit having y'all quit. I ain't even gonna hold you. If it allows for your broadcasters to steal my words verbatim, don't approve no more of my breakdowns. Because I'm so sick of hearing them say my shit verbatim. If you even listen to broadcasters now, they don't broadcast the same way because they're starting to learn the sport of boxing. Now they can convey to you that, hey, this guy tipping his lead hand, so it's gonna be an overhand hook coming. It's gonna be watch for the left hook because he tipping his lead shoulder every time he throw that right hand, that lead shoulder dip. So I know the other fighter watching this, watch him counter step around and then hit him with a pull counter. You understand? But I feel like we can only take that on our shoulders as the boxing community. We have to do better about selling the sport of boxing, selling the pure boxer.
Because once you got their attention, then you flipping on them. Because that's my thing is the knockout artists always bring the casuals because the devastating power. So because you don't have to sell somebody that's falling on their back. They see it, they see it with their own eyes, you know what I'm saying? So you don't have to sell that. But you can flip that. See, if I got a knockout artist, I said this before, if I'm picking a roster, my first fighter I'm gonna get is a guy that's a brawler, that's an action-packed guy. I'm gonna get my Arison Landy Loris. I'm gonna get my Guillermo Rigondeaux. When I'm
shout out to my brother Real Spill Midwest Boxing Talk. Y'all know how we doing the Midwest. It's all love.
You shout out, but I'm gonna get those good class boxers, but I need an action guy who's gonna be sitting there. I need my Rocky. I need my guy that's for the casuals, because you gotta dumb them down to educate them at the same time. So once they see. You got to dumb them down to educate them. So that's how you bring them in. It's the same thing Charleston White said. Charleston White said, when I was doing everything in the community, I was doing this, I was saying all this, but wasn't none of y'all paying attention. But the moment I started talking like a jackass and like an ignorant nigga, guess what? I got y'all attention. Checkmate. I got y'all attention. checkmate. Now y'all all follow me. Now I can tell y'all what's wrong with our community. Now I can tell y'all what we need. Our black brothers is reading at a low, fourth grade level. He start tearing them apart. That's how we have to use it when it comes to boxing. We got to use the basic knockout artists and then educate them with sweet science and let them know, because we set the trend. We set the trend. So once we get them in there, then we can break down the Shakurs and the Devin Haney's and say, now that we got your attention, checkmate. This
now
is
we
real
can tell
boxing.
you what's special. So
Now-
Junior Spot, bro. Let me tell you something. I didn't know who Dimitri Bivol was. This Bivol was the first breakdown I had, but I watched him fight John Pascal and I watched him fight I think Stevens. I watched 2 of his fights before I did that breakdown, and I was marveled. You understand? Go back and watch it, bro. Go through my videos and go watch it. That's one of the ones that ain't gonna have 24,000 views on it, but it was such a good breakdown, and it's something that I go back to today to gauge my breakdowns, because Bivol he's a very technical fighter, but you gotta respect somebody, bro. Junior Spot, how do you not respect the motherfucker that you can't hit? So regardless of whether he knocked them out, I want you to respect the fact that nobody gets a clean shot on Dimitri Bivol. Shakur Stevenson, don't get hit. Boxing is about hitting and not getting fucking hit. Why are we downgrading our fighters who are not getting hit for having defensive purpose, and we're discrediting them for not knocking nobody out, for not stopping nobody, when the art and science of boxing is hitting and not getting hit? Now, I ain't a big fan of Shakur and Devin, but it's not because of their talent. You understand? I'm not a fan of them because they not fighting each other. So shit, until I feel like they just showing up at the bus stop beating up on the person that they know they can win. And you ain't get no props at my bus stop from that, like that. You understand? Usyk, shit, I ain't got no choice but to respect Usyk. Usyk was a fucking middleweight in the amateurs. This man ran through the cruiserweight division, became undisputed, moved up and showed us that, hey, my size don't mean shit, because I can work the sweet science of boxing to the extent that another man can't beat me. That's what you respect. Spot.
Well, you cooking. You didn't shake the mic off, boy. You cooking.
I mean, because it boggles me, bro, that we still can't sell the pure boxer, which means
real spit. I agree. Real
boxing
spit,
on a promotional level has downgraded. Boxing on the intellectual level, boxing inside the ring downgrades when you can't sell the pure boxer, because now the kids in the gym don't want to be the pure boxer.
Yeah.
They going in there abandoning they jab, throwing a bunch of haymakers.
Yeah, no, you absolutely right. It can have a bad domino effect from that standpoint. It definitely can. You got to my thing is you have to have balance. They got to be able to promote themselves too, because the business side of it, we're fans looking at it from the fans perspective, but the business side, yes, you can have sweet science and still stank it up, because you got a lot of people who don't know what the fuck they're watching. So it's like, that's the thing. It's like me and you could sit there in a crowd full of 20 people, bro, and say, oh my God, he looking good. And they like, what the fuck are we watching? So when it comes to them ticket sales, me and you the only one buying the tickets. If that fighter come back, me and you go buy the tickets, and we know what we're seeing.
We're gonna be right there, front center, like we was at a fight before when me and you.
Absolutely. So absolutely. So my thing is, they have guys like that. I hate to say it, they have to become the villain. People have to want to see you lose because you ain't the style of fighter they like. That's fine. You don't have to like his style, but we want you to tune in to see if somebody can actually knock him out. And that's the key at the end of the day. That's how it is. But these fighters still have to fight the best, not because of his style. I don't want to fight this style. No. Still fight these guys. Give them opportunities, man. And I think that's what it is at the end of the day. These guys are afraid to lose their O. They're not taking risks. And we losing as boxing fans because they maneuvering. And back to what you just said, they're giving other people opportunities who really don't deserve it at that time. Like that's just the fact. Like you giving fighters that don't even. That's why we have guys like Jake Paul who came in. And shout out to Jake Paul, man. He's doing a lot for the sport. But
Man, big
that's
shout
why,
out to Jake Paul.
hell yeah, but that's why Jake was getting a lot of attention because the top dogs wasn't fighting each other. But yet y'all complaining about Jake and who he's fighting and all that. Jake ain't even never had an amateur bout, and he came exposing boxing for what it was. That's what we ain't getting the best fights, but yet Jake on pay-per-view. So it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, and you're right, Spock. We have a lot of fighters who don't want to be, yeah, I mean, but that's because it's not beneficial to them. We're a fight industry that doesn't respect the fighter who lose.
Yep.
Words from my brother, Ohio Runs Boxing.
Yep.
We have to do better about supporting the boxers who lose.
Mm-hmm.
How else will we get an A-level fighter to fight an A-level fighter if we don't support Errol Spence once he loses to Terrence Crawford?
Yep.
And I'm a person who knew, goddamn it, years ago Terrence was going to beat that ass.
Thanks.
Because if y'all don't know, the knockout puncher, he's a boxer too.
Yep.
Because you know what type of photographic memory, muscle memory you have to have and precision you have to have in order to have 0.3 of a second to land your punch where that window open for you to get your punch off, and your photogenic memory and your muscle memory all work coinstinctively together to achieve this.
Mm-hmm.
Combined with the precision of the punch and the fundamentals of your punch volume. You understand? So when it comes to that, even the knockout puncher, even Deontay Wilder, who don't have a goddamn jab, who I always knew would get outboxed if he ever boxed somebody, but to have that type of photogenic muscle memory and be able to capitalize off of it and co-instinctively put all of this together, you understand, for in 0.3 of a second to land your punch and do it with the type of precision that this man don't get up. God damn it, you gotta respect that. If that ain't boxing, I don't know what the fuck is.
Yep.
So to us, it's just a lot of things we got to do better on. But we closing in on an hour and a half, man. Me and brothers,
yeah, we've been cooking, man. It's been a while, you know.
Yeah, it's been a while since. Hey, we missed y'all, and I appreciate y'all missing us, man. But coming down the stretch of the show, man, go ahead. Let me know if you got any topics you just want to cook on, bro.
I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna keep it short. We're gonna keep it too long, man. We've been cooking for an hour and a half now, so it's been good. But to the fighters that's coming up in the game, I'm gonna say this for the respects of my boy Charles Conwell. I think he's one of the best 154 pounders in the game. Y'all have to be careful who you sign with.
Ooh, tell him again.
Be very careful who you sign with. Don't be so naive just to sign a piece of paper with a guy that's saying, hey, they can take you to the promised land, because you never know that guy that signs you might not be in good position or have favor with other powerful promoters and advisors. And I think that's exactly what my boy Charles is going through with when it comes to the promotional side of the game. He came out of the same class of Shakur Stevenson, Clarissa Shields, and that 2016 Olympic team. And you see, and look at all the fighters that come out of that class and what they're doing and where Charles is. It's a travesty.
And where they at within their career.
Absolutely.
However, I can't fault him. I gotta fault the sport of boxing, bro. Because if we get into a point to where if your promoter don't have the right connections, your promoter don't have the right money behind you, then you can't achieve as much within the sport. Then we're cheating the fighters that's coming. What does that say about the fighter who is self-promoted? If he don't have enough money behind him, he may never be a champion.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking at it from that standpoint. I get what you're saying, but it's from the standpoint where having the knowledge of doing your background check on anybody you about to do business with or sign a piece of paper, bro. That's a contract. That's a loan, sometimes 4 or 5 years. You know, you have to be careful of signing. That's why I said you want boxers to be aware. There's a lot of guys who was sitting on the shelf because they can't fight. Look at Blair
Preach.
Cobb. I mean, Blair. You know, he can't get out of the Golden Boy. I talked to him. Shout out to him. I'm gonna probably have him on here to cook with you too. Blair was talking about how he got to go to court to get out of De La Hoya situation when he was promoting himself. Didn't nobody even know he was with the Golden Boy, but he was making so much noise because he was talking and promoting himself. They wasn't even doing that. So you know, you can be frozen out by who you with too. That's what we have to be careful with. So I think Charles, not blaming Charles all the way. But what I'm saying is we have to be, as a fighter, you can't just be focused only on fight. You can't. You just can't.
And support systems are important in the sport of boxing.
Because one of his situations right now, he's connected with Lou DiBella. I don't know if he still have ties with him, but Lou DiBella and Al Heyman ain't really on good terms.
Yeah, they beefing.
So when you think about the 154 division and the monopoly of the game, who's over the 154 division? Al Heyman. Al Heyman got all the 154 pounders.
All the 154s, Jermaine,
all of
them,
Williams, from Castano, Harrison, Tim. The list goes on. Sebastian, he has monopolized, and shout out to Ohio because that's something Al Heyman actually took from Don King. It's to monopolize the heavyweight. When he monopolized the heavyweight division, you couldn't go through. You had to go through Don. You know what I mean? And but that's what Al is doing with certain fighters. They still he's developed a great roster there. But here's my point: Charles is now at the mandatory position at 154, and I hope it's time for them to start knocking on the door and get that man an opportunity somewhere. But it's his inactivity that I'm concerned about going in there because I think he's a great dog. He's an Ohioan, man. That's my boy. But you know, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. You know, I don't like that inactivity. It's hard for me to favor a fighter going into a fight when he's been on these long layoffs. So that's all I wanted to touch on, man. When it comes to that, just we have to be careful of who we sign with when they get in this sport, because I know the fighters, all they think is just fighting and becoming a world champion. That's at the beginning stages. But you know, there's a saying it's not what you know, it's who you know. You know what I mean? It's who you know, and that's very, very important. So I wish him, Charles, he came and showed love on your show before too. Man.
We had Charles on. Charles a real one, and I ain't gonna hold you. I done wrote Charles just just writing him to make sure everything good, bro. Want to tap in, want to make sure you know. It ain't just the interview. I really fuck with you as a person, you understand?
Yeah.
And so and Charles respond. So
he's a real one, man. He's a real one.
Bro, you hit the nail on the head, man. Support systems are important. And a lot of times it ain't about, you understand, the vision that you have for a fighter's career. It's about what you can do for him. It ain't about whether these promoters even care about these guys. You know what I mean? Shout out to rest in peace to Patrick Day. You understand? On that note. He was able to bounce back. Bro, you definitely got to make sure that your support system really supports the dream in which you plan on pursuing throughout the sport of boxing.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So we're gonna be intrigued for 2024, man. Let me get your take before we get off here, man. The Alicia Bogart and Clarissa Shields, man. What was your take?
That's spicy.
What was your take on that?
Alicia needs to chill out, man. Alicia dead wrong for that shit, man. She dead wrong. I'm a big advocate of this being the sport of boxing, and I'm a big advocate of you the best. I want to fight the best. I love that in Alicia. However, I don't think that Clarissa makes 147 and is still the best Clarissa. You understand? So I give that the same amount of light and context that I give Devin Haney and Gervante Davis. You know damn well ain't neither one of y'all gonna fight each other. He ain't moving out of 35, and you don't want to move down to 35. However, now, when I see Gervante is willing to move up to 47 and fight Conor Benn Sunday morning after I told Shakur Stevenson move up to 47 and fight Conor Benn, he's sweet for you. Then, goddamn it, Gervante and his team run over. Shout out to Keon, Mr. Everything Boxing too, for displaying his platform to me since I've been a channel and allowing me to bring that thought to the public. Because when we see it on Monday and we see Gervante trying to move up to 147, damn, OTB just told Shakur that would be a good move for him upon public perception. When everybody questioning your heart, fuck 40. Pull a AB, go up to 47. AB just picked out Paulie Malignaggi. It's a duck up there you could pick out. Go on up there, whoop you one. Let us respect your heart, you understand, and get you one under your belt. It ain't got to be a champion.
Well, here's the thing. Do you think, here's the flip side of that. Do you think Terrence Crawford going up 3 weight classes, if he beats Canelo, do you think that will motivate Alicia Bogardner to go up to fight Clarissa at 168 instead of her coming down?
Well, I think that if Alicia really want that fight, that's what she's gonna have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to move up, baby. You can't challenge the GOAT and then tell them they gotta come and see you.
Facts. I'm with it. I said that. I actually said that, and Alicia, Clarissa liked it. I said that's fair. I said you the A side. How you got to move down to 47 to meet her demands? No, That don't work like that. So I think, but I think that fight is so important with Canelo and Crawford that if it goes the way and Crawford wins that, it will open up doors for a lot of motherfuckers that want to jump 2 or 3 weight classes. And they're not as special as Crawford, but that's going to open up the doors, man. We're going to see a lot of guys.
5 people that's in here and my brother Marcus. Cap or fact? If he moves up to fight Canelo, does that diminish the win that he had against Errol Spence?
Nah.
No,
it's not going to diminish. I think he already done accomplished that. I think it's a moral victory. See, I didn't like the fight, to be honest. I've been telling everybody I didn't like the fact that Crawford has to go up and he's daring to be great. I get it. But when it comes to, and I'm going to bring race into it because I don't do it all the time. But when it comes to our fighters, black fighters,
of course, Brody,
we got to make the sacrifice. They ain't do that. Triple G ain't even go up 1 weight class to fight Andre Ward, and they still gonna praise him and have him as one of the top 20 middleweights of all time. And he's losing to Canelo. Good loss. Don't get me wrong. But when Lomachenko, they wasn't risking him to go up in different weight classes to fight the different dangerous fights. But guess what? They invited Guillermo Rigondeaux up. Come on up, Loma. Loma was ready for you then when he outgrew your ass. He wanted to fight you. We just don't. That's my thing when it comes to our fighters. We fight each other. Mandatories, black fighters will fight each other. When it comes to these other races, they just don't do that. And I don't always bring race into it, but this is just obvious. But when it comes to Crawford, do he deserve the right to go up and dare to be great? Absolutely. He's earned that. I don't think it's going to mess up anything if he does go up and lose to Canelo. I mean, he showed a lot of heart. That's a moral victory, in my opinion, because he's and here's the thing: most people gonna flip on Canelo. Oh, you didn't knock him out like they did Jermaine. Like he knocked Jermaine down, but he didn't get him out of there. So people are trying to say, "Well, you the bigger guy, you supposed to." Nah, bro. I think.
See, yeah, I know I'm a counter theorist. Y'all know
so you know they're gonna use that as a
shout outs to my brother Knockout Boxing, man. Because he was the first person who made this aware. Like, man, OTB is a contrarian. Like, man, he just gonna argue anything. But I'll give you an alter, you understand? Because given the sweet science, you understand? Errol Spence done been at 47 for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You beat him at 47, then move up 3 weight classes, and I'm not supposed to believe that you owned a physical advantage in that fight? You understand? If you go up 3 weight classes, you go up to 68. Whether you are successful or not, I will look at that Errol Spence win different because now I'm looking at this saying, damn, if you been knew that you could fight at 6, if you been knew you could make weight at 68,
Oh, I see where you go.
you see where I'm going? If you been knew that, who's to say your ass ain't blow up to gain a physical advantage against everybody you fought at 47?
No, I see. That was a good one. That was a good one.
That's a 28-pound difference. So, yeah, I mean, when all of these fighters are speaking of moving up, I want everybody to still be realistic in the physical advantages that they have, given the ability to maintain a certain performance level while an additional weight is added.
Let me double back on that, what you just said, though, because you touching on something. I said this with Devin. It's the same thing what you just said. Devin, when he first got the 140 and fought Regis Prograis, they was already campaigning for 147. And I'm saying to myself, what? And then it came out that he rehydrated to 165 in that fight. So that threw me off. I'm like, well, boy, you already knew.
So we shouldn't grade the performance as if these extra 26 pounds didn't have a physical advantage.
So I get what you're saying. When you saying if Terrence Crawford looks that way, then you're going to probably have questions about the one. That makes sense. I can't even deny that, man, because that's, like I said, I'm a logical guy, too. When 1 + 1 is 2, it is fucking 2. You can't really try to maneuver around it. So that's great. That definitely is, that will be a big question mark if that happens, bro.
Facts.
So,
and when we look at the history books, that will be something to be noted. He's a 5-division champion. Now, do we respect? I mean, he a 4-division champion. Now, can we respect the wins that you had at 135 and 140, knowing that you could make it all the way up to 60 and 68? How is that? This is boxing. That means you was 2 times bigger than everybody you fought at 35. 40.
or we saying he juiced it, or we saying it's some extra stuff being involved. See, that's what we respect. This is what people don't understand. We respect the science of boxing, bro. I'm not, and this is another thing too, bro. When I said Crawford going up, I'm not fast to sit up there and say he's walking through Canelo. He's just going to 3 weight classes and just going to school him. No, bro. He gotta have some type of problems when he go up there. There should not be no easy cakewalk for him to go fight an undisputed champion, 3 weight classes, and we supposed to just be like, yeah, he gonna do it because he Crawford. Y'all out y'all damn mind. I think he can box. But if he does that, there will be a lot of question marks. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll take everybody inside the ring. You know what I mean? Canelo's not the most active fighter. Both of these fighters start off slow because they're both natural counterpunchers. And both of them, you know what I mean? So you're going to have to pretty much wait on somebody to make a mistake to capitalize within that fight. And it's as much as, you understand, as big as this fight could be, the motherfucker could be born.
Now you just nailed it. The fact that you just said 2 counterpunchers, and I said this about Canelo and Crawford, they both great counterpunchers. They're gonna take their time. It ain't a whole bunch of throwing punches. It can be boring. And let me tell you the last fight where it was 2 counterpunchers. Robert Easter against Rances Bartholomew. Throw that in the trash. In the trash. And I said Broner versus Danny Garcia would have been trash. We talking about styles, people.
Facts.
Not names.
That's why they say styles make fights.
That's what I'm saying. We talking about styles, not names. Styles. Danny Garcia and Broner would have been trash. So
shout out to my brother A1 Hoop Zone. #TWT in this beach.
Yep.
A1, we need that schedule, bro. After I'm giving you until All-Star break. You got to all-star break. We need a schedule. We need that hoop shit. We need your insight, bro.
Yeah, right,
Because
right.
I value your insight. So we need that, man. I know the baby's gonna keep you busy. I know you got the babies. I know you got the family. But I done played with your ass too long. Get that schedule together. I don't care if me and you got to do a show. You know about my basketball knowledge. You understand? So I'd be open to fixing my schedule for you. Shit. But yeah, man, bro, phone ringing. God damn it, y'all know what time it is, man. We done rock damn near 2 hours with y'all. You understand? And man, it was a great show, great cook today. We'll definitely be back next week, same time, same place. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us.
No weight class, no foul.
Go ahead, tell them who run boxing, ORB.
Man, you already know it. Shout out to all my Ohioans, man, that didn't tapped in. Nothing but love. Yeah, and everybody know Ohio runs boxing. It ain't just the fighters, it's the promoters, it's the trainers. Everything we touch our hand on, put our hands on, ladies and gentlemen. We are in charge, man. We running stuff. So yes, Ohio runs boxing. Y'all know where to find me. And just stay connected, baby. Y'all know where it is. IG, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I'm starting to, spread my wings on a lot of these platforms, but it's all love, man.
Facts, man. Appreciate everybody tapping in with us till we tapped out, man. We just wanted to get the ball back rolling. We ain't really tripping on no views. Get some boxing talk going. Everybody get over to KQKC. Hit that like button. I did not mean to come on while the OG on. Y'all tell the OG my bad. Me and him already talked behind the scenes, though. He know what's up, man. And get the upper echelon. Upper echelon about to come on. And I think upper echelon on now. Or he come on at 2. So get the upper echelon sports bar and grill. That's my other brother. Get the Monty Brown. Get to all of the boxing platforms, man. I don't care if it's get the Knockout Boxing 86 TV, get the Everything Boxing, get the Boxing Ego, man. Support these content creators, man. Let me tell y'all, it's hard to keep a house quiet so we can talk to y'all. It's hard to make sure you got time. You understand? It's hard to make the time. Some people, shit, I'm busy. I got 5 kids. Shit, I'm busy. I don't be having time. You understand? So man, support these guys, man. Support them, man, because they giving you their time, they giving you their effort, they giving you their thoughts, their insight. So you understand? Do the same thing. Hit the like button for them, man, and please support boxing, man. Watch the fight tonight. Watch how many jabs Jermaine Ortiz throw in the first 3 rounds. That's gonna tell you. And pay attention to his legs. That's gonna tell you who gonna win that fight. His ability to move his feet will be what get him and allows him to be successful. Teofimo Lopez, he just gonna be tagging along until the later rounds of the fight. And then that's when he'll start to sit on his punches. He just want to give him as many looks as he can to help Jermaine fade, because we all know Teofimo ain't the activity puncher. Now he's basing his style on timing. He's basing his style on head movement, foot manipulation to get you to go first so I can counter you. That's how he beat Josh Taylor. So I look forward to seeing Teofimo and see if he can bring his jab to the party early in the fight, because once he abandoned the jab against Lomachenko took off on his ass. You understand? Because Lomachenko had the feet. Sandor Martin was able to not fall into the bait. So a lot of times in that fight, they was booing because of the activity level. You understand? Can Teofimo be patient enough to make Jermaine Ortiz jump out that tree? You understand? Teofimo's going to have to be patient. So it's a good time to love boxing. I ain't going to hold y'all up. Man, I had y'all long enough. I appreciate everybody who tapped in with OTB, man. We back on our shit. I ain't even going to hold you. I'm about to fuck the boxing world up. So appreciate y'all tapping in the Capper Fact Fridays, man. We'll be back. Trainer Talk Tuesdays. We're going to have a clip from a trainer that we're going to break down, and we're going to talk about the ways that trainers relay information. We're going to talk about the corners of the corners that trainers run, because One trainer had Floyd Mayweather outside the ring telling his fighter that he lost. You understand? Telling his fighter he was losing. You understand? Within me going through these trainer clips. So we going to have Trainer Talk Tuesdays. I ain't going to hold y'all up, man. Thanks for tapping in with us till we tap out. Get the KQKC, smash that like, get the upper echelon. I'm about to head over there right now.